Coming up on Fulton Today, a big week for Fulton County voters and election officials.
I'm Brian Robinson, outside of the Department of Registration and Elections. I'll share with you my full report regarding Election Day 2018 coming up.
Also, today's business leaders help the CEOs of tomorrow focus on careers, entrepreneurship, and opportunities. And later, taking advantage of the opportunity to dispose bulky trash for free. That and more starts right now on Fulton Today. Welcome to Fulton Today, everybody. I'm Shania Chavis-Rucker. After a full year of planning, the 2018 general election has finally come. A record number of residents took part in the early voting process, and now Fulton's election officials have all hands on deck for a very busy week. FGTV's Brian Robinson joins us now with more on this big story. Brian?
Shania, a record indeed, but in the first 8 days of early voting alone, the Department of Registration and Elections says over 85,000 Fulton County voters casted their vote. They also say they're expecting the same result come Election Day.
Though thousands of voters took advantage of the early voting period, election officials said in most cases the wait to do so was quick. With thousands more expected to cast their ballot on Election Day, those wait times could change, especially if the Department of Registration and Elections Know Before You Go campaign is not followed. Know Before You Go encourages you to know your polling location before leaving your house. That location can be found on your head of household mailing card or the Secretary of State's website. The last thing you want to do is wait in a long line only to find out you're in the wrong location.
Make sure that you know your polling place before you go to vote. That way, when you go to your polling place on Election Day, you will be in the correct place. And you can find that information at the Secretary of State's MVP page.
Once you know where you're going, it's important to have proper identification.
Make sure that you bring a photo ID, one of the 6 approved methods of presenting your ID, which would be the tribal ID, driver's license, passport, government employment ID, any other government issued ID, military ID. All of those are acceptable on Election Day.
Richard Barron also said Fulton County voters are voting at a greater proportion than other counties around the state. That means Fulton will most likely play a major role in this election, including deciding our state's next governor.
Now, to see sample ballots and unofficial results after the polls close, you can log on to FultonElections.com. And remember, on Election Day, polls open at 7 a.m. and close at 7 p.m. unless a situation arises to extend those hours. Reporting for FGTV, I'm Brian Robinson.
Thank you very much, Brian. Now, for any election-related issue, you can contact the Fulton County Department of Registration and Elections main number. Meanwhile, the first ever elected Fulton County Magistrate Chief Judge is officially sworn in.
Repeat your name.
The Honorable Cassandra Clerk was administered the official oath of office for a new term as family and friends gathered inside Assembly Hall to watch. Judge Pinky Toomer presided over the oath ceremony.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Chief Judge Clerk.
Though Governor Nathan Deal appointed Judge Clerk to serve as the county's first magistrate court chief judge in 2014, this is the first time the judge is elected by the people of Fulton County.
But it is my duty and obligation to continue to do the best for all of Fulton County. At the end of the day, I alone am responsible for the progression of this court.
A number of legal colleagues spoke at the ceremony, and her mother officially robed the judge. Prior to her service as chief judge, Judge Clerk served as an associate judge in Fulton County Juvenile Court, and I had the pleasure of serving as the mistress of ceremony. Fulton's justice partners raise awareness about 2 issues impacting thousands of county women: domestic violence and breast cancer. FGTV's Daryl Carver has more on this heart-touching story.
On the outside looking in, you see a whole lot, but you never know what people are going through.
Breast cancer and domestic violence usually don't call for balloons, but this crowd outside the government center felt they were the perfect accessory to show support for those who've either been a victim or a survivor. Whether it's the district attorney's office wearing purple or the clerk's office hosting a pink and purple biodegradable balloon release, the county's justice partners are making the message clear. They are here to assist those who've been affected by breast cancer and domestic violence.
Two disease-filled illnesses that impact our community so much. And here in the clerk's office, we see multiple cases of course, domestic violence, but believe it or not, of breast cancer as well.
According to the Georgia Commission on Family Violence, over 1,600 Georgians lost their lives to domestic violence between 2003 and 2016. In 2015 alone, Georgia law enforcement officers responded to over 65,000 family violence incidents. And those are just the reported cases. Though the balloon release was a celebration for survivors, it was also a reminder that anyone could be a victim.
I lost a dear friend. She was more than a friend, she was like a sister. September 26th, she was taken from us. Tragically, she was murdered by her husband. And I just thought it was important that people know that there are so many people who suffer silently. She never, ever said a word about what she was going through. And yet she came into office every day happy, jovial, taking pictures, telling jokes, and we never knew that she was going through so much at home.
For the people who have remained quiet, the county's justice partners say they want to help break the cycle of violence.
We have several resources here in the courthouse. We have a partnership with AVLF and the Partnership Against Domestic Violence. And as a result, individuals that are in danger can come to the courthouse and be assisted in filing a temporary protective order and other steps that are necessary to put them in a safe place.
If you feel you or someone you know needs help escaping a domestic violence situation, call 911. To take advantage of the programs the County Clerk of Superior Court has to offer, call 404-613-5313. Reporting for FGTV, I'm Daryl Carver.
Thank you very much. Breast cancer screenings was just one of the services that Fulton's Citizens University students learned about during their class with county health professionals. The class met at the County Center for Health and Rehabilitation. The Board of Health team explained the many different offerings, including breast and cervical cancer prevention, immunizations, and maternal and child health care. The students also heard from Behavioral Health Services Director Latrina Foster and about the outsourced services provided by River's Edge and Chris 180.
Oh, I learned so much about public health, environmental, everything has been just so informative. I've really learned a lot in these classes.
We learned about all the services that are provided to adults, children. It also includes departments that help out with health inspections with restaurants.
Next week, FCCU students pay a visit to emergency management and 911 services. When the students meet with the county's emergency services and management teams, they will hear all about how the county is helping the city prepare for the biggest football game of 2019. Officials from the Super Bowl committee briefed county leaders on the extensive planning underway for the February main event. From street closures to the law enforcement and medical examiner's office preps, just to name a few, Fulton County is playing a critical role.
Well, there's so many individuals that are working towards this overall success, and a lot of our Fulton County partners are actually successful, or help us become successful for make sure that we have this event. So Fulton County Sheriff's Office is going to be providing a major role in securing the operation. Our marshal partners, 911 emergency services, emergency management. There's so many different public safety partners that are going to go ahead and support the city of Atlanta in this particular initiative.
With hundreds of thousands of people expected to pack the city during the week of the Super Bowl, county leaders are considering how to best handle the county's non-essential services in the downtown area. Kallmeyer and other county management are meeting regularly with the full Super Bowl committee. The big game is February 3rd, 2019. Can't wait. And coming up next on Fulton Today, some Atlanta business leaders teach the CEOs of tomorrow how to talk, think, and take action. Details next in our district by district coverage. Hundreds of Fulton and Atlanta students get a lesson on the law and their futures at a conference just for them. And county officials join Fulton school leaders to learn more about a Text for Help program for teens in crisis. Here's this week's District by District coverage. Fulton officials join educators from around the county to get information about the Text for Help program, which encourages teens in crisis to seek help. The program is a partnership between the Fulton County Vice Chairman's Office and the Fulton County School System.
He had the vision. He wanted to implement it right away. So I would say that once he did the research and identified the program, we were up and running in probably 2 months.
Behavioral health officials believe that based on studies, teens are more likely to text instead of call someone when they are in distress.
When a student, no matter what time, day or night, no matter what day, weekday or weekend, when they have access to someone that will be able to help them work through their problems, work through their issues, that's invaluable.
Kids have issues all day long, all night long. There is no time frame. So to offer a help program that would only be part day or part night is not good. So it needs to be 24 hours.
This program, again, allows teens facing stress or crisis to reach a licensed clinician. Text for Help was piloted in a few county schools in January, and now 10 more schools will be added. District 4 Commissioner Natalie Hall celebrates a successful youth conference. Hundreds of Fulton and Atlanta students packed the CEOs of Tomorrow event at the Loudermilk Center. The conference focused on careers, entrepreneurship, and opportunities.
We need to show our youth that there are so many different ways to be successful in this world. They only see what they live, and they haven't lived yet. So I wanted to expose them to so many different just jobs, opportunities. Some of them just have a natural entrepreneurial spirit, and I want them to know what they can do out here that's legal.
Professionals from a number of industries hosted workshops on everything from filmmaking to law enforcement and more. Students say they learned a lot.
When I was in the juvenile workshop, the man, I think his name was Samuel, he stated that 24 hours before your 17th birthday, you are an adult. So any crime that you commit before the 24 hours or during the 24 hours, you can be tried as an adult.
Commissioner Hall served as the chief of staff to former Commissioner Joan Garner. Together, they hosted a number of youth conferences. The other conferences focused primarily on kids with troubled past. This one was primarily for student leaders and leaders in the making. And I enjoy taking a part in this day. District 5 Commissioner Marvin Arrington Jr. thanks his civic partners for their dedicated work in helping the District 5 office serve the community. Held at Zoo Atlanta, the commissioner and his team presented certificates and awards to multiple agencies, individuals, and even county staff.
I'm just grateful to have the opportunity to be able to thank some of the unsung heroes of all of District 5 in Fulton County. The people that are really on the ground getting the legwork done, helping the county, helping themselves, helping their neighbors to be better.
The commissioner also thanked elected officials who partnered in community initiatives.
Commissioner Arrington has always had the heart and the soul and the commitment to the community. On this event where he's giving back and basically showing appreciation to community leaders, and service is just a beautiful thing. So I really appreciate my friend Commissioner Marvin Arrington giving back, but he does so much, we should be giving to him as well.
This was the second annual Community Awards program hosted by the District 5 office. And finally, in District 6.
One of the most important issues that developed at both of our town hall meetings was the issue of planning of all things. And certainly in the area of transportation.
Commissioner Emma I. Darnell continues her series on the interest of transportation by her constituents in District 6, as expressed in town hall meetings.
We expected to hear, and we did hear, concerns regarding specific areas of improvement in terms of traffic and in terms of resurfacing and so on. However, this year, for the first time, we heard in both of the meetings concerned that the planning aspect of our work was of special interest to citizens.
The commissioner says she is looking for ideas to address not just the transportation issues of today, but also the needs of our children in the years to come. That, she says, requires regional planning.
For 40 years, of course, Fulton County, along with Atlanta and DeKalb, have supported the only regional transit system that we have. But we are looking for South Fulton planning in transportation.
The commissioner says the ARC is conducting a regional South Fulton planning process that residents should plan to join. You can get more details at emmadarnell.com.
And still to come, seniors enrolled in computer classes are taught how to protect themselves against cyber security threats. We'll explain when we come back. We recently shared with you how some Fulton residents who were facing jail time got the help they needed with the county's new magistrate court mental health court. Well, now even more people who could still have been locked up have also gotten the help they really needed to stay clean. Here's FGTV's Priscilla Ortega.
Work the program and let the program work for you.
Whether it was the Fulton Superior Court's Adult Behavioral Health Court transition ceremony or the court's Fall Drug and Veterans Court graduation, Fulton's accountability court programs are proving to be changing lives one person at a time.
This program has helped me a lot. It helps with the coping skills. It taught us what we need to do to be a better person and help with our character. And they stay on you, they encourage you to move forward with your life, to get free from addiction, to free from doing things that harmed us in life.
Fulton's Behavioral Health Treatment Court is effective in dealing with the problem of reoccurring arrests of individuals diagnosed with mental illness by utilizing community collaborations and partnerships to meet the mental health needs of the participants.
I used to be short-tempered. I used to think I was entitled to things, and I used to have horrible boundaries. But now the program has helped me with coping skills, helped me with my boundaries issues. I'm no longer in toxic relationships, have toxic friendships. I don't get as angry as fast anymore. I process things and look at things from a different perspective.
His lawyer said, hey, you could do this drug court thing.
The Adult Drug Court is a non-traditional program for felony offenders addicted to alcohol and/or drugs. Offenders are required to adhere to a rigorous set of rules governing their behavior for a minimum of 18 months.
My experience with drug court it's been great. The clinicians there made me touch into realize who I am, so I'm grateful today.
And for the veterans who have found themselves on the wrong side of the law, Veterans Court offers new hope with a multifaceted clinical intervention. The court says, based on the research, accountability courts reduce criminal recidivism, lower costs to the community, reduce drug use, and contribute to the quality of life for those served by the courts and community in which they live.
We have a jail that is literally the primary caregiver of the mental health for so many in our community. And we need more doctors involved in that to assist us in giving and providing that treatment and support.
And for the retiring Judge Doris Downs, an advocate for accountability courts from day one, these ceremonies were even more special as they were the final transition and graduation programs of her career in her official capacity as a judge.
Thank you so much. I'm going to retire, but not from this project, so I'm excited about the future. I think I'll be able to do a lot more.
Reporting for FGTV, I'm Priscilla Ortega.
Thank you very much. Seniors get firsthand instruction on how to detect cyber scams targeting their population. As a part of National Cybersecurity Awareness Month, workshops were held at multiple county senior centers. This session was held at the Helene S. Mills facility. A growing number of seniors have become tech savvy, and research shows that more seniors have cell phones than do not.
What we know is that seniors are one of the two most frequently targeted demographics in terms of cyber scams and cybersecurity exploits. So this class is designed to help seniors be more vigilant, give them another level of awareness in terms of protection and things to look out for, whether it's phishing or whether it's malware or some other online scam.
Seniors were given a number of tips, including thinking before they clicked on unknown senders, how to handle phishing emails seeking to get their sensitive information, and avoiding deals that seem just too good to be true. Meanwhile, another group of seniors get their groove on in the name of entertainment and exercise. It was the MVP talent show at the Bowden Senior Facility. From singing to dance, the crowd enjoyed the gifts displayed.
We have so many talented seniors throughout our multipurpose facilities, especially here at the Bowden facility. As we saw tonight, we have dancers, singers, and just to give them the opportunity to showcase their skills and see the pride on their faces and the enjoyment of the crowd, it's a great opportunity and great evening.
Some of the seniors said they had no idea that some of their peers were so talented.
We are celebrating seniors, the talent that seniors have. It's not a show, it's not a competition. It's not a contest, it's a celebration.
In the end, everyone was a winner. And still to come, residents take part in the environmental cleanup of the county by disposing their bulky trash for free. Stay with us, everybody. The environment in South Fulton gets a cleanup thanks to bulky trash and secure shredding recycling day. The county's Department of Real Estate and Asset Management team invited residents to bring their unwanted items to the Merck Road Transfer Station for free disposal.
The residents of Fulton County gives them a resource to clean up their community. They don't have consistent solid waste services in the South Fulton area and Fulton County area. This gives them that resource to help clean up around their environment, their houses, their communities, and bring it in twice a year to this facility.
Residents brought everything from old tires to unwanted computer equipment to old mattresses. Despite the rainy weather, the residents could not pass on this opportunity.
I think it's wonderful. I think it's very good for the community to be able to come out and get rid of their waste and, recycle this stuff.
I think Amnesty Day is great for Fulton County. It's a way to give back to the taxpayers.
Held twice a year, the county hosts the free bulky trash days to keep residents from illegally dumping. Residents can be fined for illegally disposing of trash, furniture, and tires. No word yet on the date for the next one. And finally, fun and creativity goes a long way when teaching youngsters a valuable lesson.
Oh, hi, kids. I'm Stan.
Atlanta Fire and Rescue Outreach and Education, they put on a fire safety puppet show for children at the Cleveland Avenue Library branch. The purpose of the show was to educate the young children on important life-saving techniques like stop, drop, and roll, and how to get out of a burning house safely, and how to identify the sound of a smoke detector.
We just want them to understand the difference and what to do when there is a fire, what that sounds like, and when they see a lighter or a match, know not to touch it, know to go to an adult.
We want them to determine the difference between crawling low, getting out of the house, and their clothes catching on fire, because kids hear the phrase stop, drop, and roll, and they think that that's the same as getting out alive.
Despite the importance of the topic, the children had a fun time learning something new while visiting their local library. Now, to learn more about the programs and the other offerings at any of the county libraries, just log on to afpls.org. And before we go, our reminder that FGTV wants to connect with you online. Be sure to follow FGTV on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for up-to-date Fulton County news. And you can watch a replay of this show and any other FGTV program anytime on our YouTube channel. Well, that does it for this edition of Fulton Today. I'm Shania Chavis-Rucker. Thank you so much for watching. Join us each week for news around and about Fulton County.